Welcome students. Now we are discussing about manufacturing technology. The topic is CNC part programming. Introduction about the part programming. A group of commands given to the CNC for operating the machine is called the program. It consists of information about the part geometry, motion statement to move the cutting tool, cutting speed, feed, and accelerating functions such as coolant on and off spindle direction. These are the commands. In structure of CNC part program, the characteristic four basic terms are using the programming structure: character, word, block, and program. The character is the smallest unit of CNC programming. It can have digit, letter, or symbols. The word is a combination of alphabetic and numerical characteristic. This creates a signal instruction to the CNC machine. Each word begins with a capital letter followed by a numeral. These are used to represent axis position, feed rate, speed, preparatory commands, and miscellaneous functions. A program block may contain multiple words or sequence in a logical order of processing. And last one, the program comprises of multiple lines of instruction blocks which will be executed by the machine control unit. In CNC machine tool, the spindle will be initially select the zero position. Either it is a fixed zero or floating zero. In fixed zero, it means the origin is always located at same position on machine control table, usually at southwest corner or low left hand of the table, and all tool locate or defined with refer that define is zero. In floating zero, very common with CNC machine used nowadays. The operator set a 0 point at any convenient position on machine table. So the most widely used in this floating 0 1 nowadays. The coordinate system is known as a work coordinate system. Model and non-model commands. The commands issued in NC program may stay in effect identity until they explicitly cancelled or changed by some other command. They may be effective for only the one time that they are issued. The former are referred as model commands. Examples include feed rate selection and coolant selection. The commands that are effective only when issued and who effect are lot for subsequent commands are referred to as non-model commands. A double command which instruct the tool to remain in a given configuration for a given amount of time is an example of a non-model commands. The structure of NC program. An NC part program is made up of a series of commands that are input into the machine control unit in a serial manner. The machine control unit interpret this command and generate the necessary signal to each of the drive unit of the machine to accomplish the required action. The NC program is required to a particular structure that the controller can understand, and it must follow the specific synchronized. The commands are input into the controller in unit called block or statements. Each block is made up of one or more machine commands. In general, the several commands are grouped together to accomplish a specific machining operation. Hence, the use of a block of information for each operations. Each command gives a specific element of control data, such as dimension or a feed rate. Each command within a block is also called a word. The way in which words are arranged within the block is called block format. Three different block formats are commonly used, like fixed sequential format, tap sequential format, and word address format. The word sequence format use virtually all modern controls. With this type of format, each type of word is assigned as address that is identified by the letter code within the part program. Thus, the letter code specifies the type of word that flow, then its associate numerical data is given. For example, the code T represents the tool number. Thus, the word from the T01 should represent tool number 1. Theoretically, with this approach, the word is in a given block can be entered in any sequence that the controller should be able to interpret them correctly. For the namely N50 G00, it means initial 0 position, and XYZ manipulate to the spindle location, and F0 it means feed is 0, and N represent the speed like 60 rpm, and G01 is a position linear point to point move, and Z will be giving the position of spindle in Z direction, as well as F50 and is choose to the feed is 50, as well as that. With the word address format, only the needed word for a given operation have to be included within the block. The command to which the particular numerical data applies is identified by the preceding address code. Word format has the advantage of having more than one particular command in one block, something it would be impossible in the other one to format. The commonly used word address like N code, sequence number, which is identify each block within the NC programming and provide a means of by which NC commands may be rapidly located, and G code, preparatory word use a communication a device to prepare the mission control unit. The G code is indicate that the given control function such as G0001 linear interpolation is to be required, and the XY and the Z code coordinate is given to the coordinate position of the tool. F code, it refers to the feed rate. F code specifies the feed in the machining operation, and the S represents to the spindle speed. The S code specifies the cutting speed of the machine process, and T code, tool selection. The T code specified which tool is to be used in the specific operations, and M code, miscellaneous function. The M code is used to designate the particular mode of operation for an NC machine tool, and I, J, and K codes, they specify the center of arc coordinate from starting. The sample sequence and format of word. N3 is sequence number, and G2 is a priority function, and X, Y, Z for designation coordinate, and I, J, K is decided to center of circuit, and F is feed rate, and S is spindle speed, and T is a tool number, and M to other function. And some standard G codes are shown in the figure. List of M code is shown in the figure. In sample, G00 is rapid travel for point to point movement, and G01 linear interpolation, and G02 and G03 circular interpolation, and G09 absolute position command. When using a G90 absolute position command, each dimension or move is referred from a fixed point known as the absolute zero position. In absolute zero is usually set as a corner edge of a part, or at a center of a square or round part, or an existing bore. The absolute zero is where the dimension of the part program is defined as from. Absolute dimension or reference from known point on the part, and can be any point the operator choose, such as the upper left corner, center of a round part, or an existing bore. Next, G091, like G91, incremental position command. This code is model and change the way axis motion commands are interpreted. G91 makes all subsequent commands incremental, 0 point shifting with the new position. And G17, G18 and G19 is plane selection. In XY plane selection, in G17 is XY plane selection, G18 is ZX plane selection, and G19 is ZY plane selection, and some of the plane selection. And manual part programming example. For the shown in the figure, the motion of tool is point numbers P0 to P1 and P1 to P2, P2 to P3 with circular interpolation will occur P2, 3 to 4, as well as P3 to P5 is a linear movements, and P5 to again P1 and starting position P0. The tool will be moving like this path, and our tool size is 0.25 inch diameter, and feed rate is 6 inch per minute. Cutting speed is selection 300 rpm, and tool part position is 2.0 to 2.0. The programming in inches. These are the mandatory selection of initial. And set up the programming parameters like programs in inches, and use absolute coordinates, and feed in rpm, and spindle speed in rpm, feed in minute per revolution, and spindle is clockwise direction. And set the machine coordinations. The machine move in xy plane, it will be set G17, and G75 is use full circle interpolation, and F6 is feed rate, and S300 is a spindle speed, and T1001 is tool number, and M08 is coolant on. This is the first point. Next, move the tool from P0 to P1, the straight line moving. In linear interpolation G01, and X is 3.875 and Y is 3.698. It will be moved for linear movements, and cut the profile from P1 to P2. The linear interpolation G01, and the X axis will be moving same for 3.875, and y will be moving 9.125 or N040G01Y 9.125. The profile will be cut from P1 to P2. The x coordinate does not change, no need to program it. And next line is P2 to P3 linear movements, like the command, and cut along the circle from P3 to P4, point P3 to P4 for circular interpolation. For CCW motion, clockwise direction motion, that will be choose a G03, and target coordinate like XY will be notate the coordinate of center of circle is shown in the command. And next the point P4 to P5 linear movements will be occur like shown in the commands. And next one, the tool will be moved point P5 to P1 for linear interpolation shown in the figure movements of tool. And return to the home position, stop program also. It will be in position P1 to P0 the linear movements as well as end of the data, and stop the program like M00. Okay, these are the commands will be set for our programming in line by line. We'll be discussing like that, and some other examples are given to the display for this diagram. For 80 diameter rod, and the length will be choose 50 it will be designed to prepare like that. Dimensional will be in the shown in the figure, and it will be maintained the part programming like this one. And it is for M12, and T M is notating for the miscellaneous function, T is notated for the tool, and X is Z is notating for the spindle position, and S600 is the spindle speed is notated. Okay. Okay, thank you.